Good evening, parents and guardians, and welcome to Back to School Night 2020. My name is Jennifer Ferris, and I am your student's world history teacher this year. So this video is to just give you a brief overview of my course policies and procedures. I will be available from 6 until 8 tonight on Google Meet if you would like to pop in and ask me any questions or just to say hello. I would love to meet with you all. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is World History 1 class. It is a requirement in the state of Pennsylvania for graduation. Actually, fun fact about me, this was my least favorite class in high school, and now I teach it. So I try to teach it in a way that I wish that I would have been taught. So a little bit about me. My background is in history, education, and music. I actually was a music teacher for 4 years. I'm currently working on my EDD in curriculum and instruction. And this is my second year at CAP, and I'm very, very happy to be here. And I previously taught at a school in Delaware called First State Military Academy. I currently teach world history and AP psychology, so maybe I will have your student again in a couple years. And I'm originally from New Jersey, and I sing with the Temple University Singing Owls. A very succinct overview of my class is that it is a survey course of world history, and a survey course just means that we do like a small sampling of history from as many places as we possibly can during the course of the year. Of course, world history is very broad, and I don't really particularly like the term world history because world history just tends to refer to anything that's not U.S. history. But we do a pretty diverse course scope and sequence. So we'll start with ancient Greece and Rome, move on to ancient India and China, the Muslim world, Central American civilizations, South American civilizations, Ghana, Mali, and Songhai in Africa, feudal Japan, and hopefully more. This course is not designed, it's not going to move super fast, but I do want to just give your students an overview of places in the world that they probably at this point of their lives don't know too much about yet. But this class is not it's not rote memorization. It's not read the textbook, answer the questions, rinse, wash, repeat. I place a large emphasis on critical thinking, analysis, and literacy skills. So things that will translate to other areas that will lend themselves to your students' academic success. My expectations are pretty straightforward, and these are outlined more in my syllabus, along with the behavior policy, which is linked in the description box below. My expectations are simple. Be prepared, be responsible, be respectful, and be positive. And so far, students have succeeded in meeting those expectations, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing the year with this group. So this year, grading is a little bit different than in years past. The classwork and homework grades have been combined into one larger grade because classwork and homework at this point, while students are learning remotely, are kind of one and the same. But tests are 30% in my class, and that also includes quizzes. Students can expect weekly quizzes, and I do allow for test corrections. Not quiz corrections, I do allow for test corrections, and I drop the lowest quiz grade at the end of the marking period. Classwork and homework accounts for 35%. Projects are 15%. There's generally one project per unit. Participation is 10%. Students are graded on participation really on two things. One, attending live instruction, and two, being engaged during live instruction. I do not require that students have their cameras on. However, I do expect that if I were to call on a student, that they would be participating, that they could turn their mic on and contribute to the class. I encourage students to keep their cameras on, but I understand that that may not be comfortable for everybody. And there's also an end of quarter exam that accounts for 10% of the grade. That covers everything that we would have gone over in that quarter. Students will receive an extensive study guide before the exam. Here's my attendance and late work policy. So for students in my homeroom, so anyone who is in my first period class, they need to fill out that attendance Google form every single day. Even if they show up to live instruction, or even if they submit an assignment, that attendance form that's what we report for up to Power School. So if they don't fill that out, they'll be marked absent. So my first period students should be sure to do that. In terms of absences, when absences are excused, students are allowed 1 extra day per day absent to turn in work without penalty. Students have 1 week to make up a test or quiz if they are absent. That will become a 0 if they don't make it up in time. And I ask that, especially in this era of online learning, if a student or parent or guardian knows in advance that a student will be absent, if you could give me a heads up, that would be much appreciated. In terms of late work, I only accept work 1 day late. And at that point, the max score that a student can earn is a 50%. If you have any questions or concerns, of course, please don't hesitate to contact me. My contact information is here. I also encourage you to opt into the Remind app, and you can get Remind app alerts for my class one of 2 ways. You can text that code there to 81010, or you can download the Remind app, which is free, and put in the code. So that is it. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and I look forward to hopefully seeing many of you 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock tonight. Take care.